What up, Club 100, for the entrepreneur that doesn't like sugarcoating, doesn't like BS, doesn't like to sit around and what would we say? Sugarcoat it. So, anyways, let's talk about. I wanted to do a video talking about sales and recruiting. It's probably one of my favorite subjects. I want to believe that I'm pretty damn good at sales. I've been selling since 2001. I've taught thousands, probably tens of thousands of reps how to sell. Most didn't listen. Most didn't think that they can do sales. But at the end of the day, what I want to start off with, because no one, sales is as simple as this. It's transferring a belief from one person to another. If we think about religion, if we think about politics, if we think about any belief system in our world, it all comes down to getting the other person to see your opinion or your facts. It's to get the other person to believe in what you believe in. And this is why you're not allowed to talk politics. You're not allowed to talk religion. You're not allowed to talk finances, because not everybody agrees on most of these topics. But when it comes to sales, all you're doing is transferring your belief system into the other person. Now, here's the problem. Most business owners don't believe in what they do 100%. They don't believe in the price points. They don't believe that the person needs it. They literally haven't even convinced themselves that everybody that's in their marketplace needs what they have to offer, right? And your job as a business owner is to obviously get the person in front of you and then sell them the solution. Because if you don't make the sale, who wins? And the answer is nobody. So let's talk about the first one. Number one is make an offer, give a deadline. The number one reason why people fail in sales is that once you did all the process, you got the prospect, you finally got the damn meeting, you got the call, you sat there, you presented the solution to their problem, you did everything you're supposed to do, and then you make an offer, but you don't give them a deadline. Meaning, you made the sale, and then you kind of said, well, I'll just wait around until you're ready to buy. But every day that they wait around not buying, they also have not solved their problem. So you didn't do nothing. And most of the time, what I used to do when I had sales reps is they would give me the whole story. They would give me the person's excuse. I said, at the end of the day, either you're selling the person a reason to buy, or they're selling you a reason why they can't. Either way, somebody's going to be sold in every single call, every single presentation, every single meeting. But it has a lot to do with, all the setup and the choreography to you got to that point. So number one is make an offer, give a deadline. Give a deadline with a bonus. Like, if you take advantage of this offer by then, you get a free gift card, you get a whatever, you get an extra blah. Give them some incentive by the deadline. But also, there should be something that's taking away as if they missed the deadline. Because again, the name of the game is we're trying to get the person a sense of urgency to buy right now. We don't want to wait, because the longer we wait, the longer they give up, the longer they forget about the excitement of they were when you first presented it to them. So when you're doing sales, give them a damn deadline. Number two, the number one objection you receive is the one you can't overcome. And what does that mean? That means that the number one excuse you get is the reason why you keep getting that same excuse is because you haven't figured out how to overcome it. So you kind of are just sitting there waiting for the person, right? Waiting for the person to say yes. But meanwhile, the reason why you haven't done that, what's up, Summer, is because you don't know how to overcome that objection. Now, here's what happens when you learn how to overcome the objection you can't overcome in your presentation. You finally figure out what to say. When that comes to the point, whether that's money, whether that's not right now, whether that's I got to talk to my husband, whatever the damn reason is, because they're all the same excuses, right? The number one objection you can't overcome is the one you always get. Now, once you figure out how to overcome that objection, guess what happens? You now start getting another objection that you can't overcome. So all sales really is already kind of knowing every excuse, every known to man what they're going to say. And what a lot of things that I do when I'm presenting to somebody is I already overcome the objections in the beginning of the presentation. Like I already said, well, a lot of people say about money, a lot of people say blah, and then I overcome it during my presentation so that I don't have to go through that again, right? A lot of times I don't even talk to a person unless they already been pre-sold through marketing, through a couple videos they've watched, because why do the selling one at a time? If I'm going to do the presentation, why not put it on a video and let the video do the presentation for me? And then when I meet with them, it's all about options now. Number three, customers always call you. Customers always meet you. If you guys are live, make sure you say what's up in the bottom so I can give you a shout out. But customers always call you. Customers always meet you. A lot of your things that you guys do that's guilty, where you're not in control from the beginning of the prospect, is that you're calling them. and you're going to meet them. The problem with that is that if you're calling them, odds are they're not going to answer the phone. If they have to call me, then that means I'm holding them accountable to the presentation. I'm holding them accountable to our call. I'm holding them accountable to our meeting. Unfortunately, most business owners and most salespeople, what they do is they don't even make the person call them. They don't make the person come out to meet them. They travel across the world just so they can get blown off. Or they call the person just so they can get a busy signal, or they can get a ringtone and it just rings, rings, rings. Now you're leaving voicemails and you're chasing the prospect desperate and you're hoping they'll call you back. When in the beginning, you could have solved this problem from the get if you just would have made sure that when you set up the appointment, you made them call you, and when you set up the appointment, you made them come to you. Because again, remember, you're solving their problem. That's all sales is. It's all your business is. You solve a problem in a marketplace, and your job is to be in that marketplace, giving the people the answers to their problems, so they know you're the expert and you're the person that can help them if they choose to do so, right? Like a lot of the times what I'll end up doing is I sell a person so much on marketing, they start looking for other options because now they're like, oh, I'm sold on marketing now because I sold them on it, but now they want to go see other options. Why? When I was the person that made you open your mind, right, to that. So number 3 is always make sure the customers call you. Always make sure the customers meet you, because if you don't, you're not going to be in control. You're not holding them accountable to the meeting. And then if they do blow you off, you can always call them back and say, what happened to our call? What happened to our meeting? Versus you calling them and calling them and calling them, trying to get them on the phone. That's a problem, because then you're chasing the customer, and that's not good at all. If you have to chase this person, you have not sold them on what you have to offer, right? So next one. Number 4, overcome the excuses before they occur, which I kind of said in the beginning of the video. Overcome the objections before they occur simply just means that if you get a lot of the same objections a lot with your business, then make sure part of your presentation, part of your video, part of your website, part of your whatever, your marketing piece, your Facebook ad, your Instagram ad, whatever you do to get customers, make sure you overcome their excuses in the presentation before they occur, so then they can't use those because you've already said them. Even when I was running salespeople, I had to overcome their objections of how they're not going to make any sales this week and already making excuses before they even went out. Then when they come to the first meeting, all they have is excuses, because the people that don't make sales usually do. And what I have to usually do to my sales reps is overcome their objections and all the excuses they come up with, because really those excuses came from the customer. They didn't come from them, they came from the customer. They didn't know what to say, so they literally just gave up, right? So next, number 5, you guys will like this. Telling is not selling. Telling is not selling. Too many salespeople, too many business owners are telling people what they want versus selling them what they want, or should I say need. Telling them what they want versus selling them what they need, which simply just means that you're too busy telling them what they need to do versus asking questions, right? What you need to learn how to do is ask a lot more questions. Because when you ask questions, it forces the customer to think, it forces the customer to really pay attention, it forces them to be engaged in what you're talking about. When you don't ask questions, what ends up happening is you basically kind of set yourself up. Let me see, like lighten down. All right, anyways, oh, here it is. Whoops, the light went off. All right, so telling, not selling, what that simply means is you guys got to get better at asking questions. Even during your video, even during your marketing, ask a lot of questions. Because again, when I used to do presentations, when I used to do seminars, when I used to do events and I would be the speaker, I would test myself, how many questions can I ask in a speech? Because again, the person asking the questions is in control. And when you're asking questions, you're making the prospect think. What's up, Ann? And basically, when you're telling people what they need and constantly telling people what to do, no one wants to hear that. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold, because when you start to sell them, and you start to be pushy, and you start telling them what they need, and you start telling them how a big mistake they're going to make if they don't buy from you, it's now you're telling versus selling. Selling is when you're asking questions, you're having a conversation, you're giving them other options, you're showing them other things that they can do, you're giving them solutions right there on the spot, so they know that you're the person that can help them if they need it, and you could be the one that they're going to hire, right? Number 6. Sell the results. Stop selling your product and service. That's number 6. Sell your results, not the product or service. Too many business owners want to sell the product and service, how great it was when it came around, how long the CEOs are, the owners used to be this, or he's a doctor, or you got recommendations from whoever, the frickin' Pope. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, all they care about is the result. Sell the result, not the product or service, right? Sell what you're going to do, or what your product or service is going to do. Stop trying to sell them how great it is. Sell them on what the solution. Show them testimonials, show them results of what it's done, show other people that have been happy with the product or service, because you're too busy trying to sell how great your stuff is, and they don't care. You're telling them again versus selling. When I sell the results and show them what they're going to get and what other people have got as a result, that's what they want to see, right? They don't really care about nothing else. And this is why you'll see like great infomercials. What do they say? Are you tired of this? Are you tired of that? Pop this pill. Have you gone through XYZ? Buy this machine. Have you done this, and that, and you've had all these problems? Buy this new frying pad. If you do it now for $19.99, we'll send you a second set. You just got to pay shipping and handling. Right. But again, what they're doing in infomercials is they're selling the result. If you watch infomercials, that's all they do. Saturday is great for infomercials, and all they do is show you all the different results that the thing can get. And then that's what sells you. It's not how great the product is or how many people who invented it. No one cares about that. They want to see it in action, right? Number 7, go for the no. Maybes are for lazy salespeople. Maybes are for weak business owners. I don't accept maybes because then that means it's a no. All maybe to me is a delayed no, right? I'd rather just get the no now so we can move forward and I don't have to keep wasting my time trying to sell a product or service to an individual that doesn't want it anyways, right? So my goal is to get the no as soon as possible. As soon as I see this person is not feeling it and doesn't see the solution and is kind of fighting me on it, then the first thing I want to do is I want to get them to just say no. Say, if this is not what you need, is you don't think it's for you, that's fine. Just say no and we'll move on. But what you'll notice why that's a great strategy, because most people don't say no, because no is final, and nobody lives in final. They always want to have that gray area. Like, the world is black and white. We are the ones as individuals that make it gray. And you're also the reason why you let other people let it be gray, because you're okay with letting them bullshit you around, right? I want to know, and I want to know why it's a no, because a lot of the times what you're going to find out is people don't even know why. They literally are just afraid of being sold and think that if they're getting sold, somehow they're getting screwed. And maybe that's true. They've been screwed before by people in selling. I get it. There's some crooked salespeople, but that's in every industry. But at the end of the day, if you want to be good in business, if you want to be great at sales, you got to start learning how to be able to take the no. It's not a thing of rejection. It's just getting to the point faster. There's no point in me delaying a sale for 3 weeks when it was going to be a no anyways. And how I know this, because people try to sell me daily on all kinds of products and services. And like even today, some lady that wanted to meet with me for insurance, she was supposed to meet me last Saturday, blew me off, right? Then she says, oh, I apologize, I've never done that. Then rescheduled me for today, didn't actually confirm, and then sent another person that I don't even know. Like, that's a loss of a sale right there. You not only did you not keep your first appointment, but then your second appointment, you don't actually confirm it, and then you send a random guy that I've never met. Like, why would I let some guy in the house that I've never talked to because he's one of your insurance reps and he's covering for you? Fine, but that's not how you do it. Go for the no, because maybes are for lazy people. That's all I'm saying. Go for the no. What you're going to learn when you go for the no, you're going to get a lot more yeses, because no is final. Nobody wants to say no. They have their excuses, but they won't bring them out because you haven't really got to the bottom line. All right, number 8, articulate the problem and twist it with a knife. So what we do in sales, what we do in business, is we articulate their problem and then we twist it with a knife, which means that we tell them their problem and then we kind of like instigate it and show you that you can keep going the way you're going, but you're going to be exactly where you're at now, probably even further behind, because you're not taking action now. You're not taking the problem serious now. So for example, if the problem with a business owner is that nobody comes in on Thursdays for whatever damn reason, so then why is it that you don't focus all your energy on Thursdays trying to figure out how we can get more business in on Thursdays? Why are we not sending emails out? Why are we not sending marketing campaigns? Why are we not sending text messages? Why are we not doing some special offer on Thursdays? Whatever the hell it is, you don't take your business serious. So like what we do is we take the person's problem, we articulate it because they know what their problem is, right? Finally get them to admit it, and then once they admit it, we twist it with a knife, because that's the only way you get a person to take action. Because it isn't until the person looks in the mirror and sees a different fat man, or it isn't until the person has been told by 2 or 3 people, have you gained some weight, is until we take action. So one of my favorite quotes was, hey, One guy asked the other guy, when did you start working here? If you guys ever get on here, say hi, live or replay. What I say to that person is, when's the last time, or how long have you been working here? The day they threatened to fire me. I'll say it again. How long have you been working here? The day they threatened to fire me. And it goes the same thing for business, goes the same thing for sales. People need to know, once you articulate the problem, you have to twist it with a knife, agitate it enough so they take action now. Because if they don't take action now, they're going to still be with the problem. They're still not going to do anything, and it'll be years. So, and it all came down to you not believing in what you do enough that you want the final no, right? What's up, Serenity? All right, number 9. People buy with emotion and they justify it with logic, okay? When it comes to sales, when it comes to recruiting, right? People buy with emotion, but they justify it with logic. For example, let's say that someone goes on and buys a car. Most people don't buy cars because it's a logical reason. What's up is Punky Alicia. Most people don't buy a car because it's a logical decision. Most people don't buy televisions because it's a logical decision. Most people don't buy couches because it's a logical decision. They buy it because it's emotion, right? I want a new TV, so when people come over, they say how nice it is. I buy a car in the color I want and the model I want because that's my emotions talking. And then I justify with logic. Well, I need a nice car and I needed something that's reliable. Yeah, but you're paying $350 a month plus insurance is another $100. You're now at $450, almost $500. You didn't think about insurance. You didn't think about maintenance. You didn't think about tire changes. You didn't think about any of that shit. You went with all in your emotions. So if you're going to be in sales, you're going to be in marketing, you're going to be in a business, that's what you need to do, is you need to talk to the person's emotion and then justify it with logic, right? Right? So like if I was an insurance salesman, the emotion part is, hey, at any time can we admit you can die? Yeah, like tonight, you go out tonight, you can die, correct? Yes. Now, if you were to die today, right? If you die today, what are you going to leave your family? He doesn't have an answer. Nothing. So I justify it with logic. But the emotion part is, if you die tomorrow, what do you got? Logic is, don't you want to take care of your family when you pass? Duh. See, but most people that do sales, they don't make it that simple. They complicate their whole freaking presentation. They complicate their whole business model by too busy trying to convince people. If you solve the problem, why do you got to convince them and persuade them and think of slick little tactics to try to get them? There's none of that. Because if they legitimately have the problem, then you legitimately have the solution, then we should just be discussing options. We should not be trying to convince you, right? Because if I have to convince you, I'd rather let you stay there. So for example, I'll use a real quick example. So when I was selling health and wellness products and we were selling kits that were anywhere from 100 to 150 to 250, we only got 10% off of that. So a lot of the times, the sales reps would complain that the person wants to know what's in the product. The person wants to know everything before they buy the product. I said, well, do they look into McDonald's cheeseburgers before they stuff that in their mouth? No, they don't. But at the same time, remember, we're only getting 10%. So I'll let that person stay fat for a $10 commission. I will let that person stay fat for a $15 commission. I will let that person stay fat for a $25 commission. Because again, I'm not here to convince, right? I'm here to sell you on your emotion and then justify it with logic, because that's what people do. Every person that purchases, like right now, the stimulus checks are coming out. What are people doing? Are they buying anything that they need? No, they're buying all the shit they want. And they justify it with logic. Oh, we need this, we need that, but it's, this will help and this will. I get it. But that's what you guys got to learn when it comes to selling people. You got to sell them on the emotion, because that's how people purchase. People purchase on emotions and then get them to justify it with logic. And you help them justify it with logic because they do it anyways, right? And if you don't sell them the solution to their problem, they're going to go spend it on bullshit they don't need anyways. Number 10, qualify before you testify. One of my most important things when I'm talking to people, I don't even try to sell an individual a product or service until they qualify. And then what I mean by that, qualify before you testify, means before I even try to sell a person, I want to make sure they went through some hoops. I want to make sure they watched some videos. I want to make sure they got some education first. I want to give them a couple solutions. I don't even want to sell you yet because it's a waste of my time if you're not already pre-qualified. This is the reason why I do Facebook advertisements. The reason why I do landing pages and websites is why I create groups like this, or I'm constantly talking to people, because again, I don't even try to sell a person until I know this person really needs it and they really want to do something now. They want to solve their problem now. I don't spend my time trying to convince people to solve their problems all day, because that's not my job. My job is to find the person that wants the solution right now and that's the person I'm going for. So no difference than if I started a gym, right? I know that in the beginning of the year that a lot of people are going to sign up, right? That's easy. And they're all going to fall off after 3 weeks and probably still stay on the membership for 5 months, 6 months, saying that they're going to come back one day. They're never going to. So I already know this, right? So I got to qualify people before I even waste my time. If somebody walks into my gym, that's a qualified prospect. They came to check out the gym. That person is saying that, sign me up today. If they walk out of that gym, that's your fault. That's also the reason why you see car dealerships, they do not let you off the lot. I don't know if you guys go buy a car, but you might want to be more direct and say no, because they are going to keep you on that lot until they get you to make a deal, because they know that the chances of you coming back is like 15% probably less that you're ever coming back. So they have to make that. That's why a lot of people don't like car salesmen, because they're pushy, but that's because they know there's so much competition, right? But there doesn't have to be that much competition as long as as long as I let you buy what you want, and I make sure I help you get what you want and not force you into something just so I can make a sale, right? And that's what every business owner does. It's what every salesperson does. You might be able to raid the village and kill a bunch of people and make some sales, but it isn't going to last because the way you went about it. It's not about basically hunting. It's about basically qualifying people and seeing who I want to work with, who would fit right for this, and who would be a great customer, who would be a great testimonial for my business, because that's all that matters to me. I want to have a relationship, not a one-night stand. So I hope you guys learned from this video. I hope if you didn't watch the whole thing, watch the replay, but I'll give you a breakdown of what we talked about so that you have a reason to go back. Number one, in sales and recruiting, make an offer, give a deadline. Number two, the number one objection you receive is the one that you can't overcome. Number three, customers always call and meet you. You don't come chase them. Number four, overcome the excuses before they occur in the presentation. Number five, telling is not selling. Ask more questions and stop telling people what to do. Number six, sell the results, not the product or service. Sell what your product does and what it's going to solve. Don't sell the product or service and how amazing what year it came out. Just show them the damn solution. Number seven, go for the no, because again, when you go for the no, you're going to get a lot more yeses, because maybes is going to have your ass waiting for the rest of the year. Articulate the problem and then twist it with a knife, right? Articulate the problem, twist it with a knife. Number nine, people buy with emotions and they justify with logic. Know that when you're making sales, it's emotion first, logic second. And number 10, qualify before you testify, meaning do not even try to sell the person until they went through a qualification purpose or system, because if you do, you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to be following up with a lot of maybes, and you're going to eventually lose confidence, and you're probably going to say, this sucks and I don't know what I'm doing. It's not that you don't know what you're doing, it's that you're not holding the person accountable. Once I got their attention, once I got their time, once I've presented to them the solution to their problem, there should be no excuses. There should be no more delays, because we've already talked. They can go through other options, fine, do that. A lot of times when people say, well, I want to look through other options, go look at everybody first, come to me last, okay? I'd rather you go to everybody first and come to me last, because I don't want to compete against anybody. You want to go with someone else, do it. I'm not the guy that's going to convince, not the guy that's going to try to persuade. I'm not going to be someone that's trying to beg you for your business. You guys should do the same. Talk to y'all later.